testing, all that sort of stuff.
All right.
All right. Hi everybody, my name's Damien. I'm from Age Foot Care. Really excited today. I get to talk to one of our biggest clients that we've been working with for a number of years now, the Regis Group. Got Phil Mackney here. Phil, thanks for your time.
Yeah, no worries at all.
Can you walk me through what your role is within the company?
I'm the State Manager for Victoria, South Australia and Western Australia, so I'm responsible for the operations or the management of all of our aged care facilities throughout those three states.
Yep.
Across the states I've got 28 facilities,
Yep.
so I've got 2,800 beds.
Great. And how long have you been doing that role for?
Just over 2 years. I've been with Regis for about 4.5 years.
Yep.
Started with Regis as a business operations manager up in Queensland, and
Yep.
was up there for a year and a half, and an opportunity came to move down here,
Right.
take on the state manager role in Victoria. So
Yeah. How are you coping with the cold weather?
this morning,
Yeah,
tough.
super cold.
Very tough.
All right, well, let's get right into it. So in your role, you would have had a fair bit of experience in dealing with different podiatry providers.
Yes.
Can you walk me through what have been some of the challenges, difficulties or frustrations with sometimes dealing with different podiatry providers?
Yeah, and I think I said this to you when we first started talking about expanding your coverage into the rest of the state, was that when I'm hearing stuff about podiatry, there's an issue, and I was hearing a lot about podiatry. There was issues around billing was a big one.
Yep.
Who's being billed, correct billing, those sort of things. Regular podiatrists, regular services to our residents, and I think the key with any of our services that are delivered to our residents, consistency of the consistent face, the consistent message, the consistent compassion there is extremely important, and
Yep.
That we weren't getting that.
Okay, so when you're not getting that, what sort of problems is that causing you? So if you're not getting a regular service, if the podiatrist isn't arriving when they should be arriving, or if you've got a different face walking into the facility every time, what sort of challenges does that present for the facility, the residents and yourself?
Well, for the residents straight away, it's disconcerting for them. They, regardless, it's someone coming into their home.
Yep.
They need to feel comfortable. Same as when you get a plumber in to fix your tap in your kitchen at home, you need to be comfortable with the person that's coming in there.
Yep.
And when you build up a rapport, you're much more comfortable with those people coming into your personal space and into your private home.
Yep.
But particularly when you're dealing with personal issues, feet an important part of anyone's body and life, and it's important that they feel comfortable with that person. And I suppose from being able to build that personal rapport, have those discussions, while someone's digging away at your feet, it's an important thing to have. From the facilities, certainly confidence that the service that's been delivered is consistent, is the facility managers are busy enough, the clinical managers are busy enough with the day-to-day issues, dealing with complaints and issues with staff and everything else. Filling beds takes up all their time, and to have not to have to worry that the person turning up's going to know what they're supposed to do, know what the Regis requirements are, and fulfil our service. The service requirements is very important, and that's where that consistent face is good.
Yep. All right, so just to recap, by working with a podiatry provider who's able to guarantee reliability and continuity, it means that we've got happier residents. When we've got happier residents, we've got happier family members.
Yep.
When they're happy, the facility managers, essentially I think what you were saying, are happier and have more time to focus on their core responsibilities, which is really running the facilities. And I suppose when they're happy, it means that you're able to focus on your role as well, rather than having to help them deal with complaints and things like that. So, all right. Well, let's move on to what have been your experiences in working with aged foot care?
Yeah, look, suppose the first one is I don't hear about podiatry very often, so I can concentrate on getting on with the rest of my role without having to focus on having to deal with trivial issues or issues around the service provision of podiatry, which is good. I think I don't see you very often, but it's good the relationship we have, and I know that I'm able to contact you if there is an issue. The fact that we catch up, sort of every half, go over any of the issues or any of the just the progress at each of the sites, which is good. And when I do ask for feedback from the sites, they're very, very positive about your podiatrists and the service that's being provided. So, and that was that happened pretty much straight away from when we changed over. And certainly, the other podiatrists that we had their good points, but the good thing was I just didn't hear any issues. The only things I heard were actually positives, and that's particularly when a resident's only been seen every 6 weeks or so. That's pretty impressive that occurs.
Yeah, I think the thing that it's funny. I think aged care is all about great communication across it doesn't matter what stakeholders you're dealing with, if it's suppliers or staff, PCAs with residents. It's all about communication, but the funny thing is often when I meet with people like you, they often say no news is good news. So if they're not hearing anything, it generally means that things are going well. So that is quite interesting. I know that when we've caught up and spoken in the past, one thing that makes me very proud of what we're able to deliver is that you've said that the facility managers refer to our podiatrists by their name. They're often only seeing them maybe every 6 weeks or once every 3 weeks. However, there might be other service providers that they've worked with who they don't know who the person is. So I'm pleased that they've been able to make that connection with the podiatrist as well. It means that we're delivering on our unique guarantee, which is we have a unique continuity and reliability guarantee, which you can see on our website. So it's good to see some tangible results of that guarantee. All right, Phil, well, we're just about to finish up. How about if someone was thinking about working with Aged Foot Care, or if they were a larger group and they had lots of different podiatry providers and they were considering consolidating their podiatry service with one podiatry provider, what would your feedback be, or what would you say to them?
I am a huge advocate for centralisation and consolidation of services. And I think very, very positive towards moving towards that for any organisation, for any service, but in particular for podiatry, moving towards you guys. It's been very easy. The transition was extremely simple, and haven't had any issues since we put you in around the state. So that's
great. I just want to go back into that and delve into that a little bit deeper. They're kind words. Why? And it wouldn't matter if it was our podiatry provider, but another one, why is centralising the podiatry service? Why are you such a strong advocate of that?
Because you've got you're only dealing with two organisations, and you're dealing with Regis and you're dealing with Aged Foot Care. So we're only dealing with two ethoses, two businesses, and it's very easy to align two organisations. Well, not easy, but it's much easier to align two organisations rather than aligning
12 or 13
or plus. And I think when we brought you guys in, I think we probably had about 10 or 12 different podiatrists just in Victoria. So that's very important from ease of management. I only have to, I suppose the old cruel leadership style, I only have to kick one butt if there's an issue, and the message goes out. And if I give you a message, I expect that message is disseminated across all of your podiatrists. So the centralised model works in a corporate environment.
So we're saving. So we're getting a more consistent service. I think that's what we're saying across the board. You're saving time because you're only having to deal with one person, but I'm sure there's probably some back office savings as well. In that, in terms of billing and things like that, it's just the one provider.
Absolutely. I think we've got some fairly strict guidelines when we're dealing with providers as far as their billing and etc. goes. but yes, certainly dealing with one person, one accounts department is a lot easier. And that, again, like you were saying before, the communication, that building rapport, the relationships is there, even with our accounts team, your accounts team, that works. So it's, as I said, the consistent message, it flows through everything. Building rapport, building relationships, keeping that consistent message happening. The less fingers in the pie, the less chance of that message being blurred. So.
Absolutely. Phil, thanks for your time today.
Too easy.
It's been great.
Yeah, thank you.
For anybody who's considering working with Age Foot Care or got any questions about our service, please feel free to give me a call. All the information's there on the website. Thanks, guys. Thanks, mate. That was excellent.
All right.
I'll just make sure that that's been captured properly. If it has, then I reckon we're fine. Don't need to